Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge, in the house. What up, dog?
Hey,
we had a great night of fights this weekend. Little jiu-jitsu, little slap jiu-jitsu, some banging fights.
Yeah.
So I saw you and I were both had the Chris Curtis fight. I'm commentating fights. I got the Chris Curtis fight. I look over at you.
Cody were cage side watching Chris Curtis.
Yeah, sure. And then I have it up so me, Blake, and Joel can watch him too. It was pretty cool.
Hey, in case our little ginger friend Dylan is watching or tuning in,
didn't I see him take you down?
Dylan, just remember who's 1-0 in that cage and who's 0-1 in that cage.
I thought I saw him take you down.
What?
Didn't he take you down?
Oh, you mean when he got guillotined?
Oh, did he tap?
He tapped from a mounted triangle.
Oh. All right.
He's talking that smack.
Talking smack.
Don't mind that I got like 60 pounds on him, but
don't. Jackson. There we go. My man Jackson. Dude, he's freaking amazing on the mic, man.
I might start calling him the voice of MMA in Utah.
I think we should start. You know what? I think he deserves that because he freaking kills it. Gets the crowd involved. Only messed up one winner.
I'm not even. I already told you. I'm not even blaming him.
I'm just giving him crap. He's probably all in his head about it, but hey, that happens, man. I've seen worse. I have seen worse. Dude, all right. So huge shout out to my teammate Lauren Ryan for winning the Proving Grounds Invitational under 135 division.
And she was not the favorite, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I don't.
That was a very competitive. That was a very competitive division, and the girl that she fought in the first round, right?
Oh yeah,
that was probably my most entertaining jiu-jitsu match of the whole night. Actually, was Lauren and Riley.
That was phenomenal. The way she stayed composed, and because Riley had her up against the cage, you could tell she was using a little bit of that MMA experience.
Oh, Riley's a savage in the cage,
and Lauren is very technical with her jiu-jitsu. That I know firsthand.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Lauren Ryan, and then also congratulations to Marisa Mercer. Hopefully, I said her name right. She won the under 135 division. She pulled off a slick buggy choke. I think it was in the second round, the semifinal rounds.
Yeah.
She pulled off a slick buggy choke. Like she's legit, man. Actually, every lady that stepped in that cage, they were ready. Let me pull up the fights real quick.
Yeah, me and you talked about it. Yeah, she did. Riley was winning.
Riley was winning that match, and then Lauren ended up taking her back. And
Carl, I'll give you. I have some input if we ever do the combat jiu-jitsu again. The problem was people didn't know how long the rounds were in the rule set, and so next time, everybody, if you come, I think the jiu-jitsu was entertaining, but the problem was people didn't really know what was going on. So the next time, what we need to do is get like a graphic on the screen that says this is a combat jiu-jitsu match, and with the little rules under
with the rule sets.
Combat, like open hand strikes, it's a this many round, whatever, Eddie Bravo Invitational overtime rules, like whatever, and we go do that, and then people kind of know what's going on a little more, and then we coordinate with the clock and have the clock on there so people kind of know how much time's left in the round. I think that would add a lot of value from the spectator standpoint, but the performances were phenomenal.
Yeah, every lady that stepped in that cage was just, we'll get into some of the other matches. We'll start breaking down the fight card. Shout out to the ladies that won, Marissa and Lauren for winning their divisions. We started off the night with a banging fight with Anthony Acosta and Kyle Griffiths, and the crowd was.
Have you ever heard anything like the BYU football team there?
Oh man, dude, we were on the broadcast. We turned around and we're just like, "What is going on?" We couldn't even hear.
It was so
loud. And Kyle came out, got stung right in the beginning, and then looked like he kind of took over the round. I thought he won the first round.
He did. I verified it with the judges on all three judges' scorecards. He won the first round. So he did a very good job of, after getting hit first, getting the composure and winning the round.
And he got caught. I mean, Anthony's a big, strong guy. He's a Marine. I didn't know that. So shout out to Anthony.
Yeah, I didn't tell you because then you would have been freaking riding Team Anthony.
Then I would have been riding. Yeah. You know how I go with that, man. No, man, I'm a Kyle Griffiths fan though, man. He great attitude after I talked to him after the fight.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Like he's like, man, I love that. I want to get back in there. Like it was cool. I mean, it sucks that I lost, but
that's the game, awesome. Man. I try to explain it to my son all the time. If you're only going to only play games that you can win, that's not being competitor,
They were saying non-Mormon things.
Dang right they were. Hey, just so you know, they're not all Mormon too. It's all good.
But don't they have to follow the code, Zach, if they're there?
It's like we're like a guideline or a recommendation.
There's a little fine line there. So shout out to Anthony Acosta.
Shout out Zach Wilson coming to the show.
Yeah, Zach Wilson came and showed up. That was awesome. Next up, we had Nicole Fuga against Liz Molinar. Liz, shout out to Liz. I know we've said it on the podcast on Friday. Came in on short notice. Nicole called her shot on this one. She told us that she wanted to get the arm triangle choke, and she did.
So here's the other thing. I think Liz kind of knew there was a good chance she was overmatched. But
100% she did.
But she wanted to do it to gauge where she was at. And she knows. And here's the other thing. One, what fighters do, don't pick and choose your matchups. She knew for her first fight, this was a tough matchup. She took the fight after watching Nicole's first fight, fight against a very tough 2-2, now 3-2 Sasha Lopez. Like,
how many girls
I was terrified that fight? When Liz said, before she had committed, said, "Can I watch her first fight?" I sent her the first fight. I sent her the first fight expecting her to say no after watching it.
Yeah.
Because I think that most would. And
100%.
She did not. And she came in. I thought she gave a max effort, performed to the best of her ability. Now she knows where she needs to work on. She got some good advice. She got an experience. Goes back to the drawing board, and she knows she has an open invitation to come back to Fierce Fighting Championship whenever she wants.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, it's good to see Nicole get her first win because we know how hard she's been working. She told us after her last fight that, hey, I should have used my jiu-jitsu more, and we saw it. So shout out to Nicole for getting the big victory. They had a couple jiu-jitsu super fights. I didn't talk about the Maylene Johnson, Molly Jimenez did a gi super fight. I don't remember how that one went, but I think Molly won by submission.
That one I don't remember.
Nikki Sullivan and Aaron Johnson. That was a very fun grappling match. Like, I couldn't keep up with it. I'm glad Shannon was there to take. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. They were just all over the place. Phenomenal jiu-jitsu from those two. And Nikki Sullivan won by decision on that one, if I'm not mistaken.
It was good.
After the Nicole fight, we ended up having the Amy Campo and Aislinn O'Connell fight.
Aislinn did better than I think most thought she would from around here.
I think so too. And even at the weigh-ins, I heard some people talking that Amy was pretty much it. And look, I mean, I think she knew. We had her on the podcast. She knew about Amy. She knew she's legit, and
she knew what she was coming up for.
And I am so impressed.
She didn't just roll over.
No, she definitely didn't roll over.
In there and competed,
I'm impressed with Amy's jiu-jitsu. Like, she is straightforward, straight to the point. Like, she's going to bring it. There's no holding back. There's no feel. No, she's going right to it. And when you talk to her, like when I'm interviewing, I'm like, she's so quiet and, she's not very loud.
Silent assassin, for sure.
Like, I didn't even know she wanted to get on the mic. I'm like, do you want to get on the mic? And she's like looking over at Eddie. And I'm like, are we supposed to be doing this? But anyway, shout out to Amy Campbell. Can't wait to see her compete in September down at ADCC.
I want to see her fight in a cage now.
Oh yeah, please.
I'm saying this right. I do believe this. I
take back what I said. I think I could beat.
I believe this. I believe that if Amy Campo decided to transition to full-time MMA, I think she would be in the UFC beating girls by the end of next year.
I agree. She's a problem. Next up, probably my performance of the night. Andrew Mickelson, Dominique McIntosh. Like, Andrew Mickelson, Yeah, Gabe, we'll talk about Dom here in a second.
Absolutely.
Andrew Mickelson, though, after coming off of that loss, how many days ago? 40 days ago, was it? Something like that? Quick turnaround.
No, it was
End of April
May
30th, right?
21st.
May
May
21st.
21st.
So about a month, right? 31 days, I think it
Is
was.
that all it's been?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because and he looked phenomenal. His striking looked good. It was on point. And what people didn't know, because nobody knows who the Dominico McIntosh guy was, he's a legit striker.
So for those that don't know, they did their homework. They were both 2-1, and they both had a decision loss to Sebastian Mordecai.
Yeah.
But what I wasn't aware of till after I made this fight is that Nico has multiple amateur Nico actually has multiple amateur Muay Thai titles.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I hope Andrew's ready to bring his wrestling shoes and just wrestle him to death, because you don't want to stand with an amateur. I mean, Andrew Mickelson, I don't think he's been training a year, dude. Maybe a year.
He's a stud, man.
And me and Carl did have this conversation. And we've said it before on here, but I'm going to reiterate it again. Wait till more and more elite athletes get into MMA, because Andrew Mickelson's a freaking athlete. And the very first jab that he snapped out, Nico's eyes went, whoa. And it was like, oh, that one kind of hurt him. And then he started putting it on him. And when he started just body, head, head, and he started throwing those uppercuts, and he did it right in front of us, and he was breathing just like he said in pad work. Shh, shh, shh. It was like game, set, match. And then the cap it off was the bow at the end.
Yeah. Phenomenal. So at the weigh-ins, Jackson was asking him what his fight name was. He doesn't have a fight name. I'm like, Iceman, dude. Get some Pit Viper glasses. Wear a little flight suit to the cage.
No,
kind of looks like Iceman from Top Gun, man. We'll get him some contender clothes.
Dare you? He's way too cool to have some corny.
That's not corny. Top Gun is hot right now, dude. Top Gun is hot right now.
Dude, that's corny. This isn't WWE.
Come on.
Get out of here. Shut up. What
are you going to call him then? There's a lot lamer freaking. You're the Kaysville OG. That's pretty lame.
And Scott Devlin gave me that name, rightfully so.
He did give you.
It's the worst. No, dude, he's the kicker.
He is the kicker. I do like that.
He's the kicker.
I mean, you look at that guy and you're like, this guy was the kicker. The kicker, like that guy was legit the kicker.
Dude, he. You know what's cool? Did you see that Pat McAfee tweeted out his fight?
No, I didn't see that.
Pat McAfee, who was the former punter for the Colts that runs a big podcast now. He's been on WD, wrestled at WrestleMania, just a showman. Saw the former BYU kicker just put the hammer down, and he retweeted the whole fight.
Really?
The whole fight. Yeah.
Oh, I got to watch that. I got to watch that.
I got
to watch that. I haven't been on Twitter all day today.
I mean,
I got to see that.
We have some. There's big. Yeah, I mean, Pat McAfee retweeting Andrew.
That's crazy.
Fighting champion.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was that was cool. But no, performance of the night, and you know what? And I'll say this too. Nico was the coolest dude, humble.
Oh,
I texted him yesterday, see how he's doing. So cool about it. He had a good attitude about it. He just ran into a buzzsaw that night. It's like, what are you going to do?
I mean,
on to the next, right?
Yeah.
And Nico's another one that he's welcome back anytime.
Next fight of the night, we had Jose Mendez and Malachi Novosel. I think some people underestimated Jose's wrestling in this one a little bit. They thought he was going to just come and stand and bang. And usually Malachi's the more dominant wrestler.
Yeah.
In a lot of these fights that we've seen him in, and he wasn't on Saturday night. There were some great exchanges. It was a good fight, very competitive fight. Yeah,
there was just a couple of situations that Jose was just a little bit better in, and made little adjustments in the cage better. Malachi had a very good performance. I felt like, from the standpoint of he just did what Malachi does and just never stops and is always working. He's a workhorse. That's what Malachi. He's talented. he's a kid. How old did you looked him up? What is he? 21?
2021. Yeah.
Something like that. He's a kid.
He's 20.
Like,
Yeah, he's a kid.
that was his 7th amateur fight. And somebody said something. I can't remember who I heard say it, but they said something. If you go ask Malachi his record, he goes, He's like, I'm not sure.
He just doesn't even care. He just wants to fight.
He just wants to fight. And he's just getting experience. And guess what? These tough fights and all that, when he turns pro and Coach Horn lets him loose, when he's ready and turns pro, he's going to be a problem. And
small world.
Oh, nice. Malachi is a fabulous competitor. And now we've seen Jose come down to the first Challenger Series and now to the Maverick Center. And I hope to be announcing a big fight with him very soon.
I know what it is.
He's a good fighter. That kid can fight. Jose can freaking fight.
Yeah. Next up, we had our first title fight of the night. And unfortunately, Raymond Lawley missed weight, or else he would have been wearing the amateur Fierce Fighting Championship featherweight.
That would be at his place, not in my office.
Hey, he called the shot, man. He said he wanted a first round knockout. He said he wanted to end it quick. He did, man.
We didn't get the knockout. Rear naked choke.
Was it TKO?
No.
It was rear naked choke. Yeah. Rear naked choke.
Zack's another one where, like he's a grinder. He's a hard worker. He does everything right. And he just got caught with a punch.
He just got caught. He really did. Yeah, he did. And then he took some heavy shots.
And he took some heavy, but he kept working. That's what Zack does. Never quits. Kept working. He even hung on for that choke for a while too. I mean,
he hung, for a long time.
I've been there. Like, there's nothing anybody can say that makes you feel better that 24, 48 hours after you lose a title fight. But the other thing is Zack will be fine.
Oh, he's fine, man.
He'll be back. He's a stud too. But I think we'll see. I think Raymond has plans to fight somewhere else, and then I think he'll be back in a fierce cage before the end of the year as well.
Yeah.
To hopefully make weight next time.
Yes, I even gave him crap about that afterwards. He was, come on. He's like, man, I did everything. I did all this stuff. It's okay. Well, guess what? Come see your boy. I got you.
Yeah.
Next up, in between the amateurs and the pros, we had a little intermission, and we had our combat jiu-jitsu match with Samson Famabot and Warren Weingartner. That was some high-level jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
How long do you last with either one of those guys, Zach? Because I think I last about 30 seconds.
If you last 30 seconds.
2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Nah, probably about a minute.
About a minute?
Maybe.
That was some really good jiu-jitsu. Like,
they're both very, very, very good.
High level. I know those guys have competed. They knew each other very well. I trained with Samson, and Samson spoke very highly of Warren. That was fun. It was interesting, like you said, like you touched on at the beginning of the broadcast, that I think having that rule set up there, because I didn't even know. I got up after the time was done to go in the cage because I thought it was over. I didn't even realize I had no clue there was an overtime. I was like, oh crap. So I had to go back and sit down. And for those that don't know, it's whoever got out of the position the fastest wins the match. And Warren ended up.
Like I said, we'll get a little rule sheet up there next time, and let people know kind of what's going on a little bit more with that and what it entails. And I think it was, I think it would be a really, really good, thing going forward that I think would be interested in putting more of those on.
A lot of respect from both guys towards each other, coaches towards each other. It's awesome. Man, another one that was a performance of the night that I thought was phenomenal is Casey Radden against Chris Kennedy. Casey Radden looked phenomenal. And I told him, and somebody told me when I was there a couple months ago with Joel, and Casey was there at Bang Muay Thai headquarters, and one of the coaches is like, Casey's leveled up in the last year. I don't know if he made a switch to kind of go all in. I don't know what happened, but he looked phenomenal. It's the best I've seen him look.
Casey's hit a different stride. He's a different monster now. The Casey that fought Johan Rubio versus the one that fought Saturday night.
Different.
He's a different monster now.
Way different monster now.
And he's more patient with his shots.
Yes.
But when he goes, he he puts more behind it. It's like he has more confidence in it. And not that he wasn't confident before, but it was
Yeah.
like, he's like, this is going to work. Now it's like, I know it's going to land. Like,
And he did some great things and Chris, high level black belt, jiu-jitsu.
Almost got him a couple times.
Almost got him a couple times, and Casey did all the right things to get out of it.
Stayed composed.
Yep.
Good
love it, man. I love seeing Casey on the cards. Next up, the most terrifying man. We're going to have him have Cole Harris start to walk out to some Goldberg music or something. Doesn't he look like Goldberg? Kind of got a Goldberg. Intense. Hey, shout out to Dean Burley too, man. That guy was pumped up all week long sending me messages. I like that guy.
By the way, okay, so shout out Dean Burley. Okay. Because guess what? He was way smaller than Cole.
Yep.
He was down to fight anybody at 170 or 185.
Yep.
When I offered him Colt, he didn't blink. Yep, let's do it. How much do you need? It's like, shoot me a number. Shot him a number. Shot him travel money. Yep, that's fair. Thanks. Took it. He was just down to scrap. And I got 5 messages during that walkout. And people are like, what are you doing? This isn't a fair fight. You're a bull, this and that, kind of teasing me. And I was like, the dude's game. And guess what? Yeah. His jiu-jitsu was pretty slick.
If he's fighting at his right weight class, because he's a 170er. He's a 170er.
Yeah. Oh, for sure he is.
For sure.
He took
the fight. He wanted to fight. And I mean, if Cole didn't have that wrestling, that dominant wrestling that he has, like he's powerful, he's strong. I mean, Dean probably catches 90% of the other guys he faces in that situation.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Dean, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe he doesn't look like whatever, but you could see in some of those transitions, he was fishing for stuff and he knew what he was doing on that mat. He was fighting somebody his size. Because what do you think, Cole Harris? He's probably back up 200 pounds.
Probably over 200 pounds. Yeah.
And Dean's still under 190 for sure.
Yeah.
Props to Dean. Dean is one that, if he was fighting at 170 and fighting somebody his size, like, different. He was a G and took a short notice fight against somebody out of his weight class. I like Dean. He's another one. I've told him he's more than welcome back whenever he's ready.
I got to give it to Cole, though. He did what he needed to do. He came in there. Big win. Good. Did his job. Shout out for the older guys. I think he's close to my age. Like he's
not
spring
old.
chicken.
That's not fair.
He's close. I think isn't he like 42?
No, how dare you?
It says it on the sheet. I thought we don't need to go into all the details, but
42. Hey, Cole Harris, I got your next.
He's
fight.
older than he's 36 or older. Let's just put it that way. He looks phenomenal. He's in phenomenal shape. Like he's the most intense guy on the card.
He's 36 years old.
36.
42. Dude, Cole Harris, Jason, go down to Agima. Cole Harris owes you a whooping. I'm texting him right now.
Text him.
Cole.
Just let him know Blake's already choked me out like 3 times and he's trained down there, so he's got me. No, he looked phenomenal, man. He took off his shirt at the weigh-ins. I was like, geez, man, this dude's like, he's ready to roll.
Yeah. I just texted him, so I'm sure you're going to be getting a message from Cole Harris.
I'll be getting a message. What else did we have? Next up, we had, I got a little background noise on this. Is it your computer?
I don't have anything playing.
Or is it mine?
It's got to be yours.
That's weird. Okay, so next up we have Lehigh Dominguez and Calvin Parrington.
That fight came down to who could win positions.
And Lehigh
won the positions. He was the bigger man.
Calvin weighed in with jeans on.
Calvin weighed in with all of his clothes on at like 163.
He told me he was 158 night of. After the fight, he said, I'm 158 is what he said he weighed. Well, he's a gamer, man.
Another one like Dean, fighting your weight class, and he's game. Dude, I mean, that's what I said. We've seen Calvin twice at Steel Fist, right?
Yeah.
He fought Cole Faust, gave Cole a tough fight. Fought Nino, gave Nino a tough fight. I told Cole, he's a dog and he's game and he'll show up to fight. And I like Calvin. I'm a fan of his. I just wish I would have known he was that light and we would have found him a different, better matchup.
And he had moments in the fight too. So he was he was doing really well on his feet, but Lehigh did what he does. He grinded it out, got the takedowns, and was just grinding out a good win. So props to Lehigh for coming through with a big win. Next up, my boy Dom Salas against Christian Ruffin. Man, these guys just went right at it. The first round, you could see, I don't know if you could see Dom, but Chris had Dom had his back, had the body triangle, and Dom's looking over at us, rolling his eyes.
Yeah, he got hit in the
He's
face
just like,
and he goes,
yeah, he's like, I just want to stand up and bang.
but I'll give this where both of those two deserve a lot of credit is, Chris. I was talking to Chris. I picked him up from the airport, him and David Balea. And yeah. And he used to be 270, 280.
Oh, yeah.
Dom has said on his U92 interview, he's lost 100 pounds multiple times.
Yep.
And Dom is out there just trying to like inspire people and do good things. And I love Dom for it. Dom is a good fighter. He's an even better person.
I love it, man.
And Chris, he was obviously very disappointed. Good dude. And David Balea said it really good. He won a lot of the positions in the exchange, a majority of the positions.
Oh, he did.
But in MMA, it doesn't matter. You just lose one and it's over. And Dom caught him and put that choke in.
Yeah. I would say that was a fight that Chris pretty easily won that first round.
Pretty easily. And
then he ended up, and Dom we both know that Dom can crack. Like he's very heavy handed and he caught him, got the choke in.
And I think Dom is another one that we'll be seeing on a Fierce card very soon.
Next up was supposed to be our 155 title fight, but our boy Armasana ended up missing weight. There was a little backstory behind that. So we're not giving him a pass, but we're also not riding him too hard on this one because he's not the type of guy to back out of a fight, which he probably should have on this one. Decided to take it, came in overweight, missed weight, very apologetic. He looked phenomenal against Fabio, who was fighting out of his weight class. Yeah,
Fabio came up. Fabio, you got to remember, you got to remember, Fabio's normally a 145 and 135er, and he literally took this fight because he wanted to fight, and two, he kind of did us a solid a little bit. He knew that's what we were looking for and what we needed, and he could have just said, "No, I'll just wait till you guys get me somebody in my weight class." He's just like, "I'll do it. I'm not even 155er, but I'll do it."
He did it.
And the Mongolian's weight cut. As a professional, you should never miss weight.
100%.
But the circumstances that he missed weight again made me go, obviously I don't like it. Obviously I wish this title was in somebody else's room right now. But
knowing what we know
and back to defend it. But knowing what we know behind it, it was like, I mean, I'll say this, his manager told him to pull out 3 weeks ago, and he refused to do it.
He's like, no, never pulled out of a fight.
Never pulled out, not going to do it now. Won't do it. And it cost him, financially out of his purse a lot as well. So, all in all, not mad at the guy, and he can fight, dude.
He
can fight.
He's good. He's a problem. He's a problem at that weight class.
He can fight. I mean, he can fight.
I mean, I'm surprised he's not getting looks from some bigger promotions. He's 9-3.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, he brings a crowd. I think every Mongolian in Salt Lake is at the fights.
Yeah, all 17 of them.
And they all go right to the cage. They don't even care who's standing or who's sitting. They all just go right to the thing when he's walking out. They stand right behind us at the thing, and they're yelling in Mongolian. They don't care. They're just having fun.
And, he's so nice and so respectful.
Super respectful.
He is so nice and so respectful. I like him. And you know what? Again, shout out Fabio.
He's a gamer, man.
He has a little bit of a knee injury. Hope it gets back soon well. Fan of watching him fight. I like watching Fabio fight.
What was your fight of the night? Did we already agree? It's Andrew Mickelson, performance of the night.
Fight of the night?
Fight Andrew Mickelson performance of the night, knockout of the KO of the night.
Yeah.
Was it better than Acosta's?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
close.
think I'm not
Fight of the
taking
night.
anything away. I am splitting hairs, right?
Fight of the night.
I think
Mendez.
Acosta's was a little bit more. Kyle was pretty tired at that point too.
Yeah. I'm going to go Mendez and Novosel for fight of the night.
That was the best. That was probably the most entertaining fight.
Entertaining, yeah.
I don't know. The Mongolian and Fabio put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, they did too. Yeah, it was a
they
great.
They both hit each other with about 20 overhand rights that I think would have killed anybody else.
You want to know what the best part of the night was? Dude, the fights were over with by 9 o'clock. We're going home, chilling, watching the co-main and main event.
Oh, I was home watching Sharuki. I watched the whole Sharuki and Gamrot fight.
Speaking of phenomenal fights, yeah.
That fight was Samson versus Warren.
That was
again, but because Mason knows what's going on.
No, it's
more people.
Dude, I thought.
I think that would have gotten a lot more praise and buzz because it was very enjoyable and entertaining.
I thought Nikki Sullivan and Aaron Johnson was just as good as the Warren fight. That was a very high level jiu-jitsu match between those two.
Sure.
But anyways, phenomenal night. I thought it was great. Crowd was going crazy like they always do. I can't wait for September. You and I you were telling me about some of the matches that are going to be on that card. Just buckle your seatbelts because I
got some names on this wall that it's gonna be fun.
This card. It's going to be the best card of the year, hands down. Like, anyways, should we talk some UFC?
Yeah, we could talk UFC.
I am going to let you start it off since I got to go run and go to the bathroom.
Whoa.
Hey, it's me this time, not you.
I don't know.
All right, you get to talk. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, all I'm talking about. So I didn't get to watch the whole card, but I did get to watch a majority of the card, or keep an eye on it at least. For those that didn't follow me, I told everybody that Vanessa Demopoulos was a very live dog, and she came out and won that fight. I don't know why I had that gut, but yeah, Vanessa Demopoulos comes out. I think that's a really big win for her. Maybe kind of shows that she's on the right track, but she was a very live dog. I am trying to pull up the entire fight card and just waiting for Jason to get back. I think that when it comes to, I'm just going to talk about Fierce a little bit more. I wish that everybody knew everything that goes on to putting on these cards, but I can promise you that September 24th is going to be about as fun as we've had in Salt Lake City. I didn't get that into the MMA card. I talked about Fierce again, but I was just looking about September 24th again. Like, ooh. Okay, I will say this because it's a done deal, contracts, everything. And if anybody hasn't seen it yet, Jerome Hatch and Rafael Brewster talking smack to each other. Like, those two have a real disdain for each other, and they're going to be fighting, and it's going to be fun.
Oh, Brewster was messaging us on the Damage Plan account, just like, I'm ready to go, ready to sign the contract, blah, blah, blah. I just told him, I'm like, dude, if he's not signing for this fight, if he says he'll fight you in September, Jerome's not the type of guy that's not going to take a fight. Let's just put it that way. I said he's not scared of you. I can promise you that.
Yeah. So, but I did toot my own horn. I did pick Vanessa Demopoulos. Remember?
Boom. We both picked her as a live dog.
We liked that one. Mario Batista.
We called that as our lock.
I didn't think he would finish Boom Kelleher that quickly, but he's legit. Did or did we not both pick Cody Durden as a dog?
Boom.
I think JP Buys is on his way out. I don't think he's UFC caliber, to be honest. Sorry.
I definitely lost the next two.
Pavia sucked, and the TJ Brown lost. That one actually really surprised me.
Yeah, that one did too. We nailed the next underdog too. We were very heavy on Carlos Olberg.
Oh, we nailed
that was like
I thought that was like a no-brainer.
Everybody was on that one. That was weird.
Oh, were we not special with that?
I was looking on Twitter. There was a lot of guys that were on him. Yeah.
Wow.
There was a lot of guys picking him. I think
It
everybody knew,
checked all the boxes for me.
which is weird. It's like, how does everyone, every podcast that I listen to, every MMA talking head, but the betting lines were the way
You know
they were.
why? But you know why I think?
Why?
I think that MMA is actually still the one sport that you can find it like
Oh, yeah.
lines that are way off in tons of value.
Oh, yeah.
Because the general public just doesn't know. But like us as podcasters and other podcasters and people that pay attention to the sport, I think they kind of all knew how that Ulberg fight was going to go.
Yeah.
Like he lost one fight because he gassed out because he'd never done it before.
Yeah.
But once he's fixed that, he's terrifying.
He's scary. Scary. I didn't watch any of the undercard, but I obviously watched the Chris Curtis fight. Shout out to Chris, Action Man, getting it done again.
What is that, like 7, 8 fights in a row?
Oh, man. You know what?
One,
I think
two,
gone
three,
are the days of
four,
him
five,
being an underdog.
6, 7, 8. That's 8 fights in a row.
Gone are the days of us getting him at dog money, though.
I don't know if he fights another ranked guy. They might sleep on him again.
I mean, I hope they do, but
Stuffs
Umar,
20 takedowns of the black belt hunter. 20.
yeah.
And just
I
beat him.
loved what Nick said in between the first and second round.
Quit being his
You guys
friend.
quit being his friend. No more high
Quit being his
fiving.
member.
He's trying to take half your paycheck. Like, hey, he had a great point. Great point.
Well, we know Chris, and that Chris has a good relationship with those coaches, and that's what he needed to hear. I don't know if you remember, which fight was it? Was it the Phil Haas where, excuse my language, but Sean Strickland told him to quit fighting like a pussy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that was that. Yeah.
And it woke him up. Like, I think, like, it sounds to me like Chris kind of responds to that. Like, me and you know him. He's a really nice guy.
Super nice guy.
And he's
super
friendly
nice
with everybody. And he's friendly with everybody. And so it's like, I think sometimes he needs to hit that switch a little bit sooner going into the fights.
Yeah. Well, he's got the right corner, that's for sure. Umar Nurmagomedov, I mean, that kid is special. Not only can he wrestle, that guy has some wicked kicks. Did you see those kicks he was throwing?
Yeah.
He's scary. He's scary at 135. Yeah. Thiago Moises gets the rear naked choke win in the first round. We both picked that one.
That was easy.
We boycotted this fight. I did pick Josh on the Facebook post in our group. I did pick Josh, but we boycotted that one. So yeah.
Good for you. You went away from our boycott.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not counting that as like I did something special. I just circled it just to circle it. And then I told you, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Are you on the train yet? Are you on the train?
I think you gotta be.
Dude, he chokes out Neil Magny with 3 seconds left in the round. In fact, you and I were on the phone talking about Fierce.
By the way, if you're going to jump for a guillotine, that's when you jump for a guillotine. At the end of the round, when losing the position doesn't lose you the round.
Dude, I didn't even. Yeah, you and I are talking on the phone and about Fierce, and I'm like, oh, he just jumped a guillotine, round's almost over with. And I'm like, holy crap, he freaking tapped. What was that? Yeah, man, he's going to be, that division, that 170 division is crazy. And then if you did not watch Gamrot and Arman Sharukian fight, go watch that fight. That was about as high level fight as you're going to get. I saw a lot of people mad with the decision. I actually wasn't. And I actually saw a lot of people saying, oh, it's a it's who lands the most damage and who's doing the more controlling. And I'm like, Gamrot landed a lot more damage. If you saw Sharukian's face, and it's like, were they giving Sharukian more credit because they thought he was landing harder shots because they didn't seem to be hurting Gamrot? So do you still call that damage if he's just kind of like the kicks? Like he was landing some solid kicks, right? Sharukian was, but they weren't really doing anything to Gamrot. At least he didn't show. I didn't hate the decision. Did you hate it?
In the moment, I did. I texted you. I thought Gamrot, you agreed too.
Yeah, I
In the moment,
thought
I thought Gamrot needed a finish in the 5th to win. I thought he was down 3-1.
it was
But,
super close, but I definitely could have saw how the judges could see
but,
Gamrot winning.
but I will say this. I said, that's crazy. It's this and that. I said, watch, the judges are all going to have given Gamrot such different rounds because the rounds were close and competitive.
They were super close.
And for the judges to all give Gamrot 3, 4, and 5, and Omar Salam 1 and 2, you know what? At least they were all consistent on the same page.
Yep.
And as a competitor, that's what I want. Consistency in the judging and officiating. And so if they're going to be consistent and they're going to score that way, and it gives you a better baseline of how they're going to score things, that's what I want. So that gave me encouragement that, you know what? Definitely not a robbery. It's a close fight.
I think go ahead, I'll let you finish your.
Did it? I was just going to say, when I went back and rewatched it, I went back and rewatched rounds 3, 4, and 5. Don't hate it. You know what? If I watch the whole fight, I'd probably give it to Shrukian 3-2. But the rounds are close enough to flip it 3-2 the other way.
I thought optics wise, and I heard him talk about it in the post fight. Shrukian's only 25. That's his first 5-round fight. Gamrot had already had 2 5-round fights in the past, and he's a little bit older. I thought optics wise, he looked a little more composed. And does that make sense? Yeah. Like Sarukian looked a little, I mean, they were both gassed, don't get me wrong, but Sarukian a little more beat up, face was a little more messed up. Maybe didn't show that. It just seemed like Gamrot was just a tad bit better optics wise. Yeah. But I wouldn't, we both agreed. I think Sarukian's going to get the nod, but
I still believe that Shrukian's probably the only one in that style that has a shot of beating somebody like Islam. Dude, in that style of a fight.
He's only 25. Gamrot's only 31.
Yeah.
That is insane. Like that's crazy.
See, that to me is actually the most alarming.
Somebody
25 years old, Shrukian's that good. Wait till he's 31. What do you think he's going to be like when he's 31?
Somebody brought up Gamrot's a split decision away from being undefeated. If he wins that split decision, would he have been a 2-1 underdog in this fight against Shrukian? If he comes in there undefeated, is he still a 2-1 dog?
Yeah, because Shrukian's hype comes behind. He's the only one that's really given Islam a fight.
Yeah.
Besides Islam's loss, right?
How excited are you for Islam and Du Bronx?
Dude, how do you think that fight goes?
I have no idea. I'm not betting against the champ. I'm not betting against Du Bronx. I'm high on Islam, but Du Bronx is fighting at a very high level. And the way he's mixing his jiu-jitsu, it's not even really, I mean, it's jiu-jitsu, but it's MMA jiu-jitsu. The way he mixes in his strikings, his elbows, I cannot bet against him. Islam's just going to have to prove me wrong on this one. And maybe he does. Maybe he is the better fighter and he wins the fight. But I cannot, after what Du Bronx has done his last 3 or 4 fights, be like, well, Islam's the better fighter. He's going to beat him, because I don't know. What's your take?
It's like
apples and oranges.
The fact that Islam is like a 3-1 favorite is mind-blowing to me. Because guess what? Islam is very, very good, and he's very dominant, but he's also not Khabib.
He's lost a fight,
but
it's not like he's just.
He's not Khabib. As much as everybody wants to say that he's Khabib, he's not Khabib. What
is Islam going to do when Du Bronx is walking him down? Because he's not going to back up. You know Charles isn't going to back up.
There's a very real possibility though that Islam's wrestling's just too much for Charles.
And he just stuffs it.
No, the Islam just, dude. You know those Dagestani, like how they change levels and they go low and get that takedown, and then they just climb on you. And once they climb on you, I don't know if Charles Oliveira has an answer for that. That's the biggest thing, right? But also, I also know at this point too, if Charles Oliveira snatches his neck or his arm, it's over. It's over. Did you hear what Khabib said a couple weeks ago in an interview?
Mm-mm.
That they'll send us location. We'll come down to Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
We'll fight it in Brazil. If jiu-jitsu or if sambo was easy, they'd call it jiu-jitsu. That's what he said.
Yeah, I heard him say that. I mean, we're going to fight. Dude, I'm pumped about that fight. I'm pumped about this weekend's fight. This pay-per-view is pretty stacked.
The Holloway Volkanovski thing to me is just a mess. It's just a mess. Because if Volk wins, what do you do with Max after that? It's over. Right?
Yeah, I mean.
And then if Holloway wins, what do you do?
I don't know.
A fourth?
I don't know. Because is there anybody even coming up in the 145? Who's coming up in 145?
Josh Emmett? Hello?
I think both those guys beat Josh Emmett.
So do I, but tell me that guy hasn't earned it.
He's earned it. He's earned it. He's earned it. I mean, Arnold Allen?
Hello?
Evolov? Movsar Evolov? I mean, those are really the only two names that kind of are like, okay. Like, we've already seen everybody else. Topuria, but he's 15. Like, all those guys that I'm just mentioning, they're all, well, besides Allen, are outside the top 10. If Max wins, he's moving up. He wants to move up to lightweight.
So does Volkov. Volkov says if he wins this fight, he wants to fight the winner of Islam and Oliveira.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Volkov. That's how I said. Did I say Volkov? Volkanovski?
Holloway.
Oh, Holloway. I meant Volkanovski. Sorry. Yeah, Volkanovski. Yeah, he wants to move up. I think he should.
You ready for this?
I think he should.
You ready for this?
If he beats Max, he should move up. What?
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure Volk loses to Oliveira?
I think he loses to Oliveira. You want to know what I want to see? Give me Volk and Chandler. Give me Volk and Chandler. Give me Volk and Chandler.
I think Volk's a better version of Chandler, actually.
I think he is too. I agree. But man, you
ready? You ready for champs moving up?
Who?
I think Usman saying he's going to move up to 205 and beat Yuri.
Stop it. Stop it. Dude, I love Usman. He's great, but there's weight classes for a reason.
What if Usman comes and sits Yuri down with the power? You know how Yuri kind of leans forward with his chin down?
Yeah.
And Usman just power jabs that chin and sits him down.
I mean, we saw what happened when Izzy moved up. There's weight classes for a reason. Yuri's big.
Usman's big.
Yeah, but he's going to be outweighed by 20 plus pounds easily.
Well, Usman's going to completely obliterate Leon here in about 6 weeks.
See, I don't think he completely obliterates him.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think he could. I'm not saying he loses. I'm not saying he loses. I'm saying I think it's going to be closer than what people think.
He doesn't win a round.
He's going to win a round. He's going to win 2 rounds.
What do you want to bet? What are we betting on?
I don't know. Well, let me ponder that. He's going to win a round. He's going to win one round.
No, stop it. Stop it.
We have till Friday to come up with a bet.
No,
or not Friday. We have till August.
We
have August 19th to come up with a bet.
Yeah, because I don't want to change your mind because you're going to come to your senses.
I'm not going to change my mind. Leon's going to win some rounds. He's going to win some
over
rounds.
Under. Okay, so on judges' scorecards, right?
Yeah.
There's 3 judges.
Yep.
So you're saying that on 6 of those scorecards, Edwards is going to have a mark by his name for 10. He's going to win 2 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards.
1 for sure. He's going to win 1 for sure.
I'll give you that he might win 1 round.
Yeah.
I'll put it at over under 5. So if it's a 5, it's a push.
If he
you know
wins,
what I'm saying?
Oh, on the judge's scorecard, like
Yeah,
if he
so
if one round gave 1 to Usman and 1 to Edwards, so he gets 5 if it's a 5-round fight. Let me
that would
ponder
be
that.
Leon. So that would be Leon winning 1 round on all 3 judges' scorecards, and then another round 2 of the 3 judges give him a round. I feel like that's pretty favorable in your favor.
Yeah, let me ponder that one.
For somebody that thinks he's going to win 2 rounds, that's saying like split decision on a round that he wins 2 rounds, a majority of 2 rounds.
I think it's going to be closer than people think. I really do.
You're going to get kicked in the head by me.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I think Cole's going to punch you in the stomach again.
I got more padding this time.
Oh man, dude, I'm stoked to do this breakdown on Friday though. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a great card. Strickland and Alex Pereira. What's the odds on that, dude? It's like even. It's like a coin flip. It's literally a coin flip.
And I already
give me Sean Strickland at dog money. Give me Strickland.
Yep.
I mean, great defense.
I'm telling you, Strickland's the guy that can give Izzy problems at middleweight, actually. And Pereira can crack, but he has some holes.
Oh yeah, he does.
And Bruno Silva in their last fight showed some of those.
Mm-hmm. And
he made Pereira dig. And Bruno and Sean Strickland are on completely different levels. Spoiler alert, I am taking Sean Strickland to beat Alex Pereira this weekend.
Yeah. Who do you got? Munoz and O'Malley.
You're going to have to wait till Friday.
Okay. All right. We'll wait. We'll wait to give the predictions on that.
I can tell you this. Hunter is a freaking ninja on UFC 4 with Sean O'Malley.
Is he really?
I can't beat him with anybody. He slept TJ Dillashaw 3 times yesterday. Stupid flying knee.
Oh man.
I'll just be blasting him, and he'll wait for my stamina to get down, and then it'll go boop and flying knee and sleep TJ Dillashaw. Every time. Slept him 3 times.
Oh man. All right.
Hey, TJ versus Aljamain Sterling. I think Aljo beats him.
I do too. You and I both agreed. Everybody else is like, "Oh no, TJ." I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. Aljamain showed me a lot in that last fight with Jan. Like, even though I'm not a big fan of his, he can fight.
You ready for the last 145 title fight for Volk?
What's that?
Henry Cejudo. That's gonna happen.
I think so.
I feel it in my gut. That's gonna happen. Just so Volk can smash that oversized
head. Smashes him. Yeah, you can't take that much time back off and then come back and try to fight the champ. Dude, I think Aljamain beats TJ.
I think he takes his back. I don't think anybody has an answer for his back take.
It's over. I was dead wrong on that last Jan fight. He can fight. He made the adjustments. He was confident. He can fight.
What if Aljo goes up and fights Alexander at 145?
Ooh, that's interesting. Alexander's he's like Charles Oliveira, right? They're just fighting at such a high level. Like, I just don't see anybody beating him.
You're sleeping on Usman.
I'm not saying Usman's going to lose. I just think it's going to be competitive. No, it's going to be competitive. No,
you're sleeping on it.
Competitive.
Where is Leon Edwards better than Kamaru Usman?
Striking. His striking is better than Usman's. His striking is better than Usman's.
Oh, my God.
It's not. He just has a jab. That's literally all he has. He ain't kicking.
You should ask Kamara, or you should ask Jorge Masvidal if it's how that cross eating that cross feels.
I'm telling you, Leon Edwards striking is better than Usman's. And for somebody to say that it's not, you're just insane. You're insane. There's not even close. Usman's striking is not better than Leon Edwards. Usman is going to have to take
the last time Leon Edwards has ever knocked somebody out.
Usman knocks out Jorge Masvidal is washed up. He's freaking 38 years old.
Colby coming down and broke his jaw, dog.
Washed up on a 5-round war, and he was getting tagged too, and he was getting rocked by Colby. Yes, he did get rocked against Colby. He was getting tagged against Colby too. Colby was tagging him. You're crazy. You're crazy if you think Leon Edwards' striking isn't better than his. He's all around. He's an all-around better striker. Oh. He is an all-around better striker. Okay, come on, Zack. Aldo needs to take your black belt away. Aldo, take his black belt away. Take it away. Take it away.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, man.
Dude, Leon Pillow Hands Edwards, I'd fight him. He doesn't even
He might have pillow hands, but he can strike. He's accurate. He's long.
Oh, come on.
He's got good kicks. Dude, he's the better striker. I didn't say he had more power. I didn't say he's knocking people out. I'm saying he's the better overall striker.
He got wobbled by Nate Diaz.
In the 5th round with 20 seconds left. He was piecing him up the whole time.
Yeah, wow.
What if he just comes out there and just starches Usman?
I'll bet you whatever you want, dog.
Just like you wanted to bet me on Shavkat Rakhmonov.
I just said that Leon. I actually, if you want to go back and play the tape, I'm pretty sure I said he should win the fight, but Neil shouldn't be a 3-1 underdog.
We both did. I did. We both agreed that.
Sack of crap. Just getting under my skin.
Oh, I didn't think he would beat him like that. He made it look pretty easy. Did you see him ask him if that was the hardest fight? He's like, was this your hardest fight? He's like, no. He's like, I took him down and he couldn't get up. So, dude, his freaking weigh-in when he's like turning his head to the side. I'm like, dude, this guy's crazy.
Like he's like he's like the bad guy in Saw.
And then he's like looking him up and down, like I'm just gonna smash you.
Smash. Give me Chimaev. Just run it.
Book it.
Get it over with.
He beats Chimaev. I'm telling you right now. Let's take a poll. Let's do a poll in the group and see.
I just don't think that we can even until Rakhmonov fights somebody in the top 3. I don't think we can
fight somebody like a Burns
because remember before Burns, Chimaev wasn't human either, right?
The only reason I would give him a little bit of an edge because experience-wise, he's got more experience than Chimaev. But like he's got a lot of fights against a lot of people with good records. But and you said it on the podcast. I think you're the one that sent it to me that said how it seems like Chimaev is kind of dropping off a little bit. He might not be as motivated as he was a year ago. Well, didn't you send that to me?
Yeah. Well, Dana's like, yeah, like everybody does it. They're super hungry till they get to the top, and then they want to be very careful to make sure that they get their title shot.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
Even Chimaev. Why don't we just do Rakhmonov up to Gilbert Burns and see how that goes? Poor Gilbert.
Feeding him to the killers. Give him a. He said Brady, Masvidal, or Thompson were the 3 names.
Sean Brady's the only one that makes sense there. Masvidal and Thompson should fight each other again, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like they're both over the hill.
Rakhmonov and Brady, that's an interesting fight.
I'll take Brady. I'll take Sean Brady.
That's a tough fight.
I think Sean Brady's a different. I actually think Sean Brady's the future champ of that.
I think a lot of people do. That'd be a great fight.
Brady. I love Sean Brady.
So many good fights. Ooh, they're both 15-0 too. Or Rahman's 16-0 now. Yeah, that's a good fight. Anyways, all right, we'll let you guys get out of here. We finished it up. Thanks for tuning in. You got anything else?
That's so sick. Yeah, go off. I got something to tell you.
All right. I'm ending the